What's going on, my exotic family? It's your boy Dre. Welcome back to the channel. So if you guys saw my video last time where we put the rack together, as I said, this will be a two-part series. So we're going to actually go ahead and install the heat tape and the thermostat to the rack. So without a long intro, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Alright everybody, so welcome back to the video. Like I said, we're going to be installing heat tape and thermostat on the heat rack today. So this is all of the supplies that we have. This is all that you're going to need for installing heat tape on a snake rack. As you can see, this is the thermostat I went with. I like the Varium Electronics brand. My current rack runs with the Varium Electronics. So basically what I'm actually going to do, my current thermostat on the old rack is a VE200. So it only supports one rack. This one actually is the 300 times 2. So I think there's, well, whatever. But there is basically two plugs for, you can do two independent zones. So I'm actually going to have this thermostat run both of my racks. And then the other thermostat I'm just going to keep until I need it later. I got my foil tape, and then I got my heat tape. Duh. So basically, let's show you. With the heat tape, I was actually going to put it together myself, but when I picked it up, the guy had already done it. I wanted to actually walk you guys through actually putting the power supply to the heat tape and crimping and all that. But like I said, it's already done. But it's fairly easy. If you do get heat tape, 9 times out of 10, somebody will do it for you. The first time I used heat tape, I did it myself, and it was very, very easy. But literally, all you do is take your wire, strip them, and you basically crimp them down on the silver part right here. And then you need to use some like vice grips to really push them down. And then basically these plastic covers is gonna just basically cover to make sure none of the electricity gets to where it's not supposed to. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, so now I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna set it up, and then we will go from there. Alrighty, so it's fairly easy. All I'm going to do is unravel everything. So for this rack, I went overboard and I got 16 foot. I know I don't need that much. So literally what I'm gonna do is line it up where I want it. So I'm going to use what they call the snake method, where I'm just going to take it through each level. And for those that don't know, the heat tape is double-sided, so whether it's upside down or right side up, the heat will be supplied. So to get that to stay, I'm going to measure out my tape as long as I need it. And this foil tape is super sticky. So I like to do my heat tape around the back of the rack. That way they can go back there, because I keep the water dish around the front. That way they can go back there, hang out, be warm, and really just be comfortable. So yeah, but I've seen some people, and I mean the back, on the bottom, some people actually do the back wall where the heat is coming from the actual back of the tub. So I mean, everybody does something different. So that is what it looks like on the first level. So tape it down, leave this part exposed, and we just go to the next level. So now to go to the next level, we're gonna take that whole roll and we're gonna flip it upside down. Alrighty. So I'll give you guys kind of how it's gonna look. So first level, next level, and then you just continue so on. So I'm gonna take this and push it in this way, and it's gonna be right side up. So let me do these last 4 or 5 levels, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like, the finished product. All right, everybody, so I got all the heat tape on, and like I said, I literally just went, so started way down here, I started up, came up, looped it over, and then now it's upside down, taped it down, and then I literally just looped it back and forth on each level. So I wanted to show you guys this part because, like I said at the beginning of the video, I got 16 feet of heat tape, which is way more than I needed for this rack. So I have to actually trim it. And for that, I'll show you the process for that, because there's a certain thing you have to do. And by certain, I mean, you have to watch where you cut. You can't just cut anywhere on the tape. Otherwise, it's gonna make your tape not work. So basically what you wanna do is cut in between the black pieces. So let me I'm gonna make that cut for you guys so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But I'm gonna cut right here on this white part, and then that's where the tape is gonna stop. So let me do that and I'll come back to you guys. All right, everybody, so I made my cut, and this is left over. So this is what it looks like. This is the final touch. Now, if I wanted to get some more prongs, as you see down here, and make this another piece of heat tape, I could, but I don't need it. But I will save it, because you never know, I might get like a separate tub or something and I need to heat it, and this is good heat tape, and heat tape is not cheap. So I'm definitely gonna keep it. But that is how you do the heat tape. It's very simple, very easy. Tubs will slide in through this way. Heat will be back here. And like I said, this foil tape stuff is very sticky. And I would just make sure, I usually go through and just make sure it's all sticking down really good. That way when the tubs get in here, when they rub up against it, doesn't make the tubs, the foil tape come up. But this is what it looks like from the front, from where the tubs are gonna slide in. So now we can work on the thermostat. All right, so thermostat right here. This is not a review video, guys. I'm just literally opening this, and I'm gonna power it up for you guys to show you how it works, and give you guys the different features that I like about it. This is the first time that I'm actually using the VE 300x2, so there are a few other features in here that I may or may not miss, but for the most part, it's definitely gonna do what I need it to do. First feature that I do like about it is these grooves right here that allows you to stack them, and they fit real nice. If you have like a section where you have all of your thermostats and you want them to stack for you, that is what that's for. And all of theirs have those. So unfortunately, like I said, I'm taking my VE 200 out, and I'm going to storage it for now, because this one is going to be able to power both of my racks like I wanted to show you guys earlier. It has 2 places, so this is zone 1, zone 2, so you can plug in 2 different heat sources, I'm sorry. So let's get this all hooked up. So this is, obviously I'm only gonna plug in 1 because the other rack is not here, and I actually have to move this rack because the snakes are at a different location. So plug this here. So we're gonna make this one zone 1. And everything is labeled. So we're gonna make this zone 1. And then at the very tip of it, you have the probe. This probe, a lot of people ask questions if this probe goes in the enclosure. No, the probe is what you put directly up against the heat tape because it is what is going to monitor your heat tape to make sure that it is hitting the right temperature. And the last thing that you want is your heat tape, your heat cable, or whatever you're using to overheat. So it does not go inside of the enclosure. It needs to go directly up against the heat tape. If you put it in the enclosure and you set your thermostat for 100 degrees, the probe is going to read whatever the temperature is within the tub. So if that tub isn't 100 degrees, that heat tape is going to keep heating until it reaches that desired temperature, and you can possibly cook your snake, and that's definitely not what you want to do. So make sure you read all directions and warnings and everything, but make sure you know how your thermostat properly works because they all have different modes. And again, the last thing you want is a cooked snake or anything like that, especially you guys know we spend a lot of money on our snakes. So it's good that you're getting a thermostat, but don't not read the instructions because you feel like you know too much. So just that little tidbit there. So like I said, this probe here is gonna go down here on the heat tape directly, and how you would do that is, all right, so this is literally how I did it. It's plugged into the thermostat. I literally just took some foil tape, and again, foil tape or air duct tape or whatever you want to call it. You can get it from Home Depot, Walmart, Lowe's, or any hardware store, or any store that has a hardware section. It's pretty cheap. It's just aluminum foil. Aluminum tape is what it is, but it's good for insulating heat. Held it down with this. You don't want that to move. You don't want that to be loose. So you make sure that's on there tight. So that way you get a good accurate reading on your heat tape. And then also, another thing that I use is a good old temp gun. I have 2 temp guns. My other one is with the snakes. I use this one for the lizards since they're upstairs. But you know, this is how you get an accurate reading on everything. That way you know your heat tape is working properly because you have your thermostat. You want to make sure your thermostat is hitting the desired temperature. And then you also want to check your tub because you don't want anything overheated. Again, I think that is the big thing working with heat tape and thermostats. You have to make sure you do everything properly so you don't run into any issues. Okay, now enough repeating myself. Back to the thermostat and your regularly scheduled program. So now we are going to take our heat tape and we plug it into, we have this zone 1, so we're going to plug it into zone 1, and then we're going to power our thermostat up. And this is just a walkthrough of me showing you guys things. I'm not doing anything special. Like I said, I have to move it, so I'm going to be unplugging all of this anyway. Got our power cord, and we're gonna plug it in. Turn this light down. Plug it into the back of the thermostat. Power this bad boy up. As you can see, the light comes on, and then it has, like, you know, your presets and everything like that. Nothing is set, of course. So you see this light is lit up because I only have one zone plugged in right now, and it'll say number 1. The temperature is reading 69, which is great. We know that's right because we just checked it with the heat gun and it said 69, and then it did say 70. So there's that. So basically, you want to go into menu and you can set your daytime temperature. So the thing I like about this one, that, I mean, you know, a couple of thermostats have versus the VE200, this one actually has a night drop built in. So you can do night drops with your snakes, and that comes in handy obviously with breeding, but also, you know, to simulate natural behavior for your snake. So you can set your daytime temperature. So you hit menu, then you hit enter, and then you can go up, you can go down. And I think it goes all the way up to, like, I want to say like 100. And then remember, you're setting the temperature of the heat tape. The heat tape is what's going to heat the enclosure. So the heat tape may be, 104 degrees, but that may be what you need to keep it at in order to get that desired 88 degrees in your tub. So remember, just because you set it to like 95 degrees and your snake only likes it like 80, that's fine. As long as that hot spot is where it needs to be, because remember, it has to penetrate through the tub as well as through the substrate. So daytime temperature, entry, and you hit enter and it'll say entry accepted, and then you can go down to your night drop amount. So let's say you want your night drop to drop 10 degrees, and that'll put it at 70. Go back in the menu, night drop amount. There's you can set the time when your day temperature starts. You can set the time of when your night temp starts. You can set your time, the actual time of day. So there's a clock on here. You can select your heater mode. So this is what I wanted to show you guys. So there's proportional, there's on off. Oh, it only has proportional on off. So basically proportional is where I don't think that's the same as pulsing, where it kind of gives short pulses into the heater. That's not the same. Okay. So it's heater mode, there's proportional, and then there's on off. So on and off is when the thermostat reaches, or the heat tape reaches that desired temperature, the thermostat will turn off. The only thing I don't like about this thing is, as you can see, when I let my finger off of it, it goes right back to the main menu. But there's so much stuff in here. The heater mode, there's alarms. So if something doesn't sound or something isn't right, there are alarms on here. So that is dope. I do like that. So keep that in mind. And then the night drop amount. So that's really it. I haven't really got to play around with it. Like I said, I got to reset it up anyway, so I'm not going through setting anything up. And I'll be keeping, multiple snakes in here. It's a 7 slot rack, so I'll be keeping quite a few snakes in here. So I like the V Electronics. They're great thermostats. I mean, obviously, as I move on, I'll probably move over to Thermostat, because you got like your 6 zone and 4 zones, which I'll definitely need. But that is pretty much it. I mean, you literally plug everything in that you're going to use. You got your power, you got your heat tape, and then you have your probe. You set your temperature, your time, your zones, everything, and it should work perfectly for you. And then there's alarms on there. Again, you have your menu button, you can set your temperature and everything like that. And I mean, that is pretty much it, guys. So I'm very, very excited. You guys have got to see me build this rack to completion. I got the thermostat for it. So all we got to do now is add the snakes. So we'll see. Maybe in the next video, I'll show you guys, the snakes I'm adding in here. Or maybe I'll show you me setting up the tubs in here. I don't know. The tubs are right here. So yeah, I mean, all right, everybody. So I hope you guys enjoyed this build, this video, this little mini series, like a little 2-episode series, I guess. Like I said, I may do another video where I'm setting up the tubs or I'm adding the snakes and everything like that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a fun build. I haven't done any DIY videos on my channel in forever. So if you guys want to see more stuff like this, let me know. It was a very quick, very easy build, and I really enjoyed doing it. Drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think of this rack. Again, I know some people aren't fond of racks, and that's okay. Everybody has their point of view to do things. Again, this will not be a permanent end all for any of my snakes. So it's just something in between until I can get everything situated. But hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did enjoy it, hit me with a like, a thumbs up. That really helps me out. And if you want to see more videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn those post notifications on so you don't miss any uploads. I upload weekly, usually Mondays, Wednesdays, or Thursdays. I've cut back a little bit, but I'm still uploading weekly, so make sure you don't miss out on that. Also, follow me on Instagram at DW Exotics for daily updates of all of my animals. And as always, stay exotic.